Hey everyone, John Gonzalez and Amy Sherman from MLive.com and Michigan's Best. And today, Amy Sherman, we're talking Michigan travel.
We just announced our search for Michigan's best vacation spot, and we've got a special friend with us to share his expertise about all things in the Mitten.
Well, as we said, we're talking about Michigan and travel. And Amy Sherman, if we're talking Michigan and travel, there's only one guy that we need to have on the show.
One guy that we need to have on the show, and that's Dave Lorenz from Pure Michigan. Dave, welcome.
Hey, thank you. Always good to talk about traveling in Pure Michigan with two of my best friends. So good to see you guys.
Well, that is so nice of you. And of course, you already know that we are asking readers of MLive.com to share with us their favorite vacation spots throughout Michigan. And right now the weather's a little weird this week. And, we're kind of inching into summer eventually, but we will get there, right?
Well, we're a four-season state. Why not celebrate it all in one week, as we likely, often will do at this time of the year. So I'm okay with that. I tell you, I'm just like you guys. I can't wait to really get out there. I have been double vaccinated for a long time. So, I felt very comfortable to get out there, do it safely. Still doing the Pure Michigan safety protocols, of course, the Pure Michigan Pledge. But I can't wait to get out there and to really celebrate with this new found freedom that we're all going to have once we get by this really difficult time. And we'll get there soon.
We will. I think that more than any other year, I think in Michigan, we always are looking forward to summer. We are a four-season state, but summer is when we are glorious, right? But this year, I think that anticipation for that travel season is higher than ever. I think people are just so ready to get out there. I'm sure you've been hearing that too, Dave.
I have been. The pent-up demand is huge right now. And so I know people are going to be really ready for the warm weather to stick for a little while so they can, plan their trips and really get out there. I know camping is going to be huge again this year. Some of our big nature areas where you can naturally distance going to be very big. I've been looking at the search numbers. That's where you really get some clues on where people are going to go. And, everybody's looking for campgrounds. Everybody's looking to go to places where, nature is abundant. And of course, there's a lot of places in Michigan you can do that. So, northern Michigan, the Upper Peninsula, a lot of the really favorite places are going to be very busy. For me, I have to tell you, as trite as this sounds, I can't wait to get back to Grand Hotel in Mackinac Island. I know it's like, well, go to the number one travel, destination, when it comes to a property in the state, the jewel on the crown, Grand Hotel, Mackinac Island. And, but the thing is, I really am looking forward to it because, with their relatively new ownership, they were purchased by a relatively big group a couple of years ago. And so a lot of people were saying, gee, are they going to be able to keep that really kind of family atmosphere, that quality that people were really expecting and anticipating? And I'll tell you, from everybody I talked to, people have been happy to see that they've been able to keep that same feeling, that same atmosphere, but they've also been able to invest in the property in new and different ways. So I want to see the new pool. It opens up, I think, late in May. I want to check that out. That sounds really cool. They're going to have a slide there now. They're making some additions and some changes on the interior of the hotel. I know they've upgraded a lot of the restrooms, which I thought, but they look great to me. But so they're putting all these upgrades in, and I can't wait to see it myself. And then I just can't wait to be on Mackinac Island, that very special charm. Want to check out the historic places that I wasn't able to really get to the fort and, the park as much as I would like to, the actual, historic park. So I want to do that a little bit more. I want to do some biking, hiking, things like that. Maybe a little running with you, John.
That would be fine with me. Well, as you know, Amy and I love Mackinac Island, and we both have been there multiple times. Last year was a little strange. We bopped in for a hot second, and we didn't get, like you said, a chance
just like me,
and do a lot of things that we typically do on the island, and of course the Lilac Festival and all those events that happen. So we are looking forward to some return. But let's talk about some of the places that maybe are off the beaten path.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe just kind of get overlooked, not for any bad reason, just because we have these, Traverse City to Mackinac, we have these destinations that people always turn to.
You bet. Well, I have so many of them to consider. Now, let's see, it'll be 2 years already in August. I took a mystery vacation with my family and our good friends. So my wife and myself, and then our good friends who are former roommates of ours, by the way, we got together, getting them together. So we've traveled together, all of us, with our sons back when they were young for, 35 plus years. So we did this mystery trip and we went a lot of different places, and I had set up a couple of different locations along the way. And so some of the places that I wanted to get to, we weren't able to get to. So I want to get to a few of those. And, some of them are relatively well known, but I kind of want to go up like the center of the state a little bit more. Lansing, for instance, there are some really cool things in the Lansing area. The little towns that are really neat, and Old Town I really like. I want to show that off to my wife and our friends our next trip. I'll kind of go up that middle part of the state a little bit. We did go to the Zebewing Museum in Mount Pleasant on that trip before. I love going there whenever I can. I want to kind of take a little more of this eastern route, though. So I want to go over to like that Midland, Saginaw, Bay City region, show that off to my family, because they've really not really been there very much. So, Dow Gardens, and I want to go to the Whiting Forest, and I want to show them the path, the elevator path through the forest, the canopy tour, things like that. And then, Midland is just such a great town. Saginaw's come so far, and I really like Saginaw. Same thing for Bay City. It's just a really cool place with a lot of great history. So I want to do that. And then where else was I thinking? Oh, you'll be not surprised by this one either. And we did go to this place with that mystery trip. I want to go back to the Keweenaw Peninsula, where, you name it, you'll find everything you want to see if you are a nature lover, everything from mountains to water, and spectacular all around. You'll find great history, the copper mining history, and, Calumet. And I want to go see the beautiful little theater there. The restaurants are really neat and great food. I want to go up the middle of the coast and then come back down along the coast, middle of the Keweenaw, and then come back down the coast, go to Jampot. Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jampot again. All those things. I want to get to Copper Harbor, spend a little time there. So I know those are relatively well known, but what's not known are the little places within the Keweenaw, like the Cliff Mine, which you can take a little self tour there. It's not much left of it, and you have to be very careful because, man, there are like pits there. You could just end up missing if you're not really watching where you are. But it's spectacular. It's like the Ewok adventure or something going in that forest. It's really cool. So that's a neat thing. And because I'm so much into history, I love that. And then because of the nature things, Brockway Mountain, I could go on forever about the Keweenaw, but then kind of farther south, and then west, the Porkies. My wife and I 36 years ago got married, and being the big spender that I am and was, that was our honeymoon, tent camping at the Porcupine Mountains. So we had a great time, and it was beautiful, and it was a special time. We went at fly season, which made it even more special. And, so it was really great. And I want to go back there. I think my wife does too. And just all the little teeny towns that you meet along the way there. I think that's the most special time. My wife keeps this sign. It says, not all who wander are lost. Well, let me tell you, when I'm wandering, I'm lost. But when I'm with her, we're wandering by, intentionally, because she's one of these people just likes to discover, let's just go somewhere. And the thing is, you can do that in a place like the UP, because as big as it is, it's not that big. So you're going to eventually hit a lake if you get lost. So that's the cool thing about it, So anyway, I want to do that, and I can't wait to do that. I just can't wait.
Well, it sounds like you have a jam-packed summer. I love it.
Are you surprised?
No, no,
Well,
not
and
at all.
so here's the cool thing for me because of COVID, I didn't take a lot of vacation time last year. So I've got to either use it or lose it. And I've been trying to get other people to take their vacation time because Americans, we're so stupid. We don't take our vacation time. How dumb is that? Really? We don't take our vacation time. So I've been preaching this forever. Take your vacation time. It's good for you mentally and physically. It makes you more productive. It expands your mind, and you get to meet people that you've never met before who live in different places and look different and sound different. And then you realize we're all the same. All that stuff is good for you. I'm preaching it. I need to do it. So this is the year. If I don't use my vacation time, I lose it. So I'm vacationing a lot this year, and I can't wait.
Well, Dave, I know that it is going to be a fun year because a lot of people will be getting out there and doing what they missed last year. But one of the things I'm curious about is, and thanks, by the way, for running down some fantastic places to visit up through the mid-Michigan, Lansing, Flint, Saginaw Bay City, which Amy and I just love that area, and of course the UP. But what are you hearing from your travel partners across the state? I know last year was a challenge. This year, what are you hearing from them? Are they expecting a bigger crowds compared to last summer?
We're seeing, and so are they, seeing a lot of interest by travelers. They really want to visit, and they're making advance bookings, and they're searching. The problem is, the more COVID continues to be a problem, the farther out they're planning their trips, and so they're experiencing that all this the trips that people took last year about this time, they're not taking yet because there's real hesitancy out there. Even though people like me, doubly vaxxed, all that stuff, wearing my mask everywhere I go, people still want to wait a little bit until they are confident they're going to be able to, get into every restaurant they want to get into and find a table and seat. In Michigan, we're not used to standing in lines. We're not like big cities like Chicago where you have to spend half a day standing in line to eat something. So we're not used to doing that. So people want to make sure that they get to do the things that they really love to do. And I understand that. So that's exactly why we've got to take this, right now. I knew this would be the case. I just felt it, that this would be the most dangerous time for us when it comes to COVID, because we'd start to get this, hey, I've done my part. I can start to, relax a little bit. No, we can't. We've got to keep this thing going. We got to beat this virus down to nothing. And then we're going to be able to really live our lives. And that's my plan is for the summer. I want to see this done now so we can get going. And I'm confident we're going to be able to get that done, because when Michigan sets our mind to something, we get it done. So we just need to do that.
One last push from everybody, and then we can get there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, we need to get there sooner than later. But if it has to be later, then so be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We'll get it done eventually. And I just want to see it sooner than later for everybody's benefit. I mean, it's not good to be, in your house all the time. My wife tells me it's not good for me to be in her house all the time. So we need to get out there as soon as we can. And, the thing is, we know what to do. So let's just take that Pure Michigan pledge, do it, get it done. Let's just do it, like they say. And then we'll be out there. And, there are a lot of people who are going to be out there. They're going to do all these outdoor activities, and, God bless them. I hope they do. But for us to fully live our lives, that's all we need to do is just beat this thing down. We can do it.
Well, I know that you gave us a great list of ideas. I would love to ask Amy Sherman, what are some of the places she's looking forward to visiting this summer?
Oh, okay, Gonzo. Well, of course, beautiful Mears, Michigan, home to Silver Lake Sand Dunes and my parents' log cabin. So I'll be going there, and I'll be getting chicken at the frickin' Chicken Shack and eating delicious Mexican food at La Probadita in Hart.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites.
But to Craig's Cruisers, drive the little cars.
Yes, it's so much
Mini
fun.
golf. Mm-hmm.
So many things you can do in that area. That's the thing. And then the place I want to go that I've been saying now for probably 2 years that I've had on my bucket list is Alpena. And I want to go kayak over the shipwrecks, enjoy their downtown. They've got some great, usually during typical times, some cool things on like Friday nights and stuff. But those shipwrecks just look incredible. And then when I get done with that, I'm going to zoom on over to the Mackinac State Parks, and I'm going to zip line with Dominic.
That all sounds good. There's an let's see, a glass bottom boat in Alpena. There's also one in Sheboygan that takes you out into the lake, and then you see some of the lighthouses and shipwrecks there. I like that too. So you'll have to check out both of those if you're not feeling as adventurous as taking a kayak out that day.
We'll see what the weather's like. Okay, Dave?
Yeah, I don't blame you. I love that area, that Alpena, Sheboygan area, really beautiful. And, we were talking earlier, lesser visited places. It's not Traverse City. Traverse City is beautiful, but it's a little busier. So if you're looking for that, go to that east side of the state. And the Lake Huron shoreline is beautiful. Oscoda, my wife and I did go to the My Tiki Resort last year. My Tiki Resort, a little bit of Polynesia in Michigan. What a cute little place. And they have all these little cabins and cottages in that area. Beautiful. So get out there. You're going to love it.
You're
I
going to
can't
love
wait.
it.
All right, Gonzo, how about you? Where are you going to want to go this summer?
Well, one of the places I want to get to, and Dave and I talked about this, I think earlier in the year, is late fall. I was able to go out with my wife to Fayette State Park in the Upper Peninsula. And we were there. It was a very cold, windy November day, not ideal weather situation. I think we were the only ones there. And
that's ideal.
A little too cold, a little too windy, but Dave, you've been there during the peak time, and it is a great state park.
Beautiful. And the thing is, if you're into history, as I am, and I know you are too, there's something really special because it is Michigan's only real ghost town. I mean, it's a full town. It was a company town where they smelted or whatever they did with those materials, and it's right on the the northern tip of Lake Michigan, on the little Garden Peninsula there. It's a beautiful little place. And the parks folks, the historic parks folks, have fixed up various places, various buildings and things, so you can see what it was like then. But most of that campus area was as it is now. I mean, it's just it was able to kind of self-preserve. So it's an awesome place to go to. And when you hear terms like ghost town, you usually, you think, okay, whatever. That's a pretty cool place because you do get the feeling what it must have been like to live there. I love it. It's also beautiful there, just beautiful.
Yeah, I love just walking around, and like you said, you can feel the energy of there were people here working, living. You could see all the buildings that were around, the things what they use to live day to day.
Great
Amy,
marina there. Yeah, for boaters, great marina.
Yeah, the marina's there. And Amy, I know you love, the when you go to what do they call what do they call the
Interpreters.
Thank you. Which you want to do for a living. Your second life as an interpreter.
I do.
Yeah, and I think that's fascinating. All that is just so fascinating. So that's the thing about Michigan, right, Dave? There's so much to explore and experience. I don't know if any other state has the same resources and the same four seasons that we do. I really don't.
Every place has a story. Every place has a history. But few places I've ever visited in this country or the world, and I've been everywhere. Part of my previous life was I had to travel a lot. And of course, now I do for work as well. But the fact is, we happen to live in a really special place. We joke around about the seasonality, but that's a special thing. And that has brought about a lot of the communities that are what they are today simply because of the weather. I mean, Houghton, Hancock wouldn't be what it is today without the fact that they have this very kind of aggressive winter pattern there, which makes it a really interesting college community. And you go on and on to look at any of the communities around the state. Many of them are what they are partially because of just the kind of the weird weather that we have. It drew certain people from different places around the world there. So we have all those stories, all those special, stories to learn about, all those very unique and interesting people. We tend to live in pockets of people who look like us and sound like us and who are like us. I think that's a real shame, but it's who we are. So, we get to go to these other pockets of people and see them and find out, hey, these people are okay. That's what travel gives us, this opportunity to connect with other people in a very special way, and to be enriched by who they are and where they live for at least a short amount of time. And it will change our lives. It'll change us forever. And that's what Michigan can do.
Well, Dave, thank you so much for joining us today. Where can people get more information if they want to plan their next Michigan adventure?
I have no idea. No, we always say your trip begins at
Right.
Michigan.org. Our friend Tim Allen always says that too. Your trip begins at Michigan.org. So I think that's a pretty good place.
I love it. And Amy, we should let people know too about where they can get more information about Michigan's Best and our current search.
Yeah, our current search for Michigan's Best Vacation Spot nominations are going to be open until Friday at noon, and you can find that all at mlive.com.